Exercises. Lot of good, lot of exercises to play these different kind of examples and lessons more accurately. One of the obvious first things that most guitar players do or should do is to learn alternate picking. What I have here is just your basic plectrum. I use a very hard pick. It's a Jim Dunlop Ultex Jazz 3. It's the most comfortable pick for me. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the best for you, but it's just what I'm using. And also I use my two fingernails on my second and third finger to utilize this hybrid picking technique, which a lot of Telecaster players use. And it just takes a little bit of practice and a few things to kind of get used to doing it, but I find it to be very efficient, and you can do a lot more interesting kind of things with it. But starting with just the alternate picking, basically I actually just use the side of the pick. And what I do is I just simply take my pick and I'm playing up and down on the string. And if you're doing basic scale forms. Alright, so if you're doing you're using alternate picking, and what you're doing is you are you're basically going back and forth on the string, or up and down strokes. And if you're not if you're not already accustomed to that kind of thing, it's really a way more efficient way, better way to go, especially when you're playing single note lines. To be able to really be more efficient with the scales, and just makes it actually easier technically once you learn how to alternate pick. And so a good exercise for that is just to simply practice your alternate picking. Maybe do different strings to keep it from getting too boring. Or you might want to sit around and watch a movie or something and just have the guitar in your lap and just sit there and practice your alternate picking that way. Now the reason I use a really hard pick is because it's got a lot of resistance, and it doesn't flex. And because it doesn't flex, my pick stroke, or the stroke, doesn't, I don't have that whatever millisecond it is for the pick to relax back to its natural state. And so what this does is this allows me to actually kind of decrease the speed a little bit for picking ideas. Also, I don't really try and pick through the string. I don't really try and pick, where your pick might be, say, a few, millimeters through the string, and then that way you've got too much resistance, so that can happen. So what I try and do is I try and keep it right on top of the string. And I kind of angle my pick a little strange. That doesn't necessarily make it the right way, it's just the way I do it. It's what's most comfortable for me, So as you're practicing, you might experiment with, changing the position of the pick, maybe, backwards like that, or forwards, or you might just do it straight, flat across like that. But believe it or not, sitting there doing something like this and just studying kind of the micro, little tiny details of how you're doing something can just automatically improve your guitar playing and make it easier to do things. So that's kind of the deal with alternate picking, and the idea behind it also too, if you're just doing straight flat picking or straight alternate picking, is you always want to do downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, or if you do it reverse, you might find some phrases where you're going to go upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. But you always stay consistent, to keep that, the flow happening there. Plus, it just makes it, you can continue lines a lot easier because you can put this hand on automatic pilot pretty much.